So, good afternoon. My name is Itai Green, and today I'm going to speak with you about corporate open innovation and the travel tech nation. A little bit about myself, 15 years of experience with startups in different domains, in different sectors, not necessarily in travel. I was heading the innovation activity of Amadeus in Israel, looking for startups in order to help Amadeus collaborate with them for the benefit of Amadeus and of its customers. I founded Innovate-Israel in order to help corporations to innovate, but not with internal R&D departments, because nowadays it's not enough. To innovate with third parties, with startups, with other corporations, and with academy. And I founded the ITTS, which is Israel Travel Tech Startup Community, a community of 400 travel tech entrepreneurs in Israel that reflects 300 startups only in travel tech. And 2 years ago, we were only 20 entrepreneurs. So I totally believe that you will be there really soon. With the good work that you're doing, you'll be there. You probably know what's in common between all the following brands. Between BlackBerry and Blockbuster and Agfa and Nokia and Yahoo and MySpace. They've all been disrupted by technology. They failed to move with the time. There is an arrogance of corporations that tend to think that what used to work for them is going to keep working for them. So if there is one thing I want you to take out of my presentation today, is that what used to work for you till today is not going to work for you in the future, in the very near future, unless you will adopt innovation from startups. And it is true for any corporate here, for hoteliers, for insurance companies, for banks, whatever. Even for countries. And the reason is because technology rate is really growing and very fast. For the telephone of Graham Bell, it took 75 years to reach 50 million users. How much time it takes nowadays for an app or for a game to reach 50 million users? A month? Maybe 2 months? Technology enables what it didn't enable in the past. Here you can see iPhone 4 capabilities, CPU, are stronger than the computers of the Pentagon in 1986. iPhone in 2010 was smaller, but much stronger than the Mac of 2000. And the technological rate is really growing rapidly, very fast. And another thing, McKinsey has recently announced everyone here that over 50% of our daily activity is going to be automized in the very near future. Can you imagine what does it mean? These 4 brands were not here till recently. About Airbnb, I don't need to tell you, but also about the others. Uber, the biggest taxi company with owning 0 vehicles. Facebook, the biggest content platform, and they do not create the content, we do. And Alibaba, they own 0 inventory, and it's the biggest retail. How did it happen? Thanks to technology. Technology also makes us not be aware of potential competitors. We used to think that we know who our competitors are. But who could imagine that Alibaba is going to get into the hotel industry with these robots? Who could imagine that Alibaba is going to get into the car vending business in China? Who could imagine that Amazon is going to get into the insurance space? So technology bring us new competitors. So we have to be always with open eyes toward the next new competitor that's going to come into our market. The open innovation is an unlimited opportunity for you, unlimited. And when I'm saying you, it's hoteliers, corporations, and entrepreneurs. But what's most important to understand is that the smartest people are not working for you. Not because you don't know to hire the best ones. Statistically, even for Google, the smartest people are not working. You know where the smartest people are working? For others. They're working for other corporations. They're working for startups. They're in the academy. So the whole idea of open innovation is not to rely only on the R&D department, which really has a lot of work to do, but to collaborate and partner with these others, with these smart people, with startupists. All these brands are Israeli startups that grew to unicorns, that their valuation is over $1 billion or euro, all unicorns. I assume that some of them are quite familiar to you. And in Israel, there are almost 350 multinationals that are investing every year millions and tens of millions of euros in order not to miss the next waves. They know that if they will miss, they disappear. The value of a collaboration for you, for corporations, for hoteliers, with collaborating with startup is endless. It's not only in order to stay first and to win competitors. It's much more. It's in order to survive these days. It's in order to improve the quality of the offering for your clients, in order to be fast enough, to be first in the market with new products, to be efficient in your daily activity, in your daily operation, and to reduce costs. And I'm going to tell you a secret, also in order to increase revenues. This is also something you're going to gain out of collaboration with startups. And I'll give you some examples in few slides. In Israel, there is one startupist per less than 2,000 people, which is a very high ratio. The level of investments per capita is 30x over Europe and 2.5x over the States. Booking.com has recently decided to launch their machine learning R&D center in Israel, in Tel Aviv. They had to choose whether to do so in Tel Aviv or in the Silicon Valley. I think they chose right, but I'm not objective. This is their CEO. And a little bit about ecosystem. The ecosystem in Israel is very, very unique. This is not only for travel tech. The ecosystem in Israel, and also, by the way, in every place, should be with few players. The first one are the startups. In Israel, we have 6,600 startups. We have endless number of foreign delegations that are coming to Israel to learn and to scout and to collaborate. But by the way, in order to find an available room in a hotel in Israel at the mid of the week, it's nearly impossible. And that's the reason for that. I mean, the prices are crazy, like 500 euro a night. It's crazy. 430 professional investors, over 200 accelerators and incubators, more than 300 multinationals, and I just mentioned 9 public universities. But you know what's unique with this ecosystem comparing to the ecosystem in Silicon Valley, in Paris, in Berlin, in any other place? All of them are speaking to each other. All of them are collaborating. All of them are sharing know-how with each other. And this is the key for a successful ecosystem. There are many areas where Israel is relatively strong in terms of technology, mostly around software. This is the cyber ecosystem map of startups in Israel. Each small logo here is a startup, and each area here is a subdomain of cyber. And this is for artificial intelligence, AI. This is exactly the place where we're supposed to say, wow. It's not amazing? Isn't it amazing? This is for IoT. This is for financial technologies. By the way, when I'm saying financial technologies, there are many startups here that are relevant also to travel. This is for insurance. And again, in insurance, there are many subdomains that are relevant to travel. What startups are looking for from corporations, and what corporations can get from startups? Startups are looking for a collaboration with corporations like yours, and the reason is not because you are nice. You're also nice, but that's not the reason. Startupists are looking to collaborate with corporations because you, corporations, have the know-how, the industry expertise. Entrepreneur has a very, very unique understanding of technology, very sophisticated, very creative. They're working very hard, 24/7, the startupists, but they don't know the industry. You, corporations, hoteliers, you know the industry very well. And this collaboration is a win-win. Each and everyone need the other. Corporation need the startupists in order not to miss, in order to stay relevant, in order to offer the best value to your customers, in order to run your business most efficient. Startupists need the corporation because they have a working platform. They have the industrial know-how. This is priceless. And a corporate that collaborates with a startup gets the technology first, get it for relatively attractive price in terms of commercial terms, and he may get a very unique technology to be competitive with his competitors. So this is a win-win. But in order to speak and work with startups, you need to know how to do so right, because it's not trivial. It's not. Corporations are with startups, it's like Chinese, they speak to each other. And now I'm going to say something that, please believe me, a startup would never speak the corporate language. Never. If he would do so, he would end up dying very soon. He would have no cash flow. His investors are not going to invest anymore. A corporate wants to work with startups, has to speak startupist. A corporate has to understand the value of working with startups. There are also risks. Sometimes it's going to win, sometimes it's not going to work. Sometimes you're going to lose, but you have to take this risk in order to stay relevant. So a corporate that wants to work with startups has to come with an open mind, to create fast track in the corporate, to work fast with the startup. C-level commitment, super important from the corporate side. Corporate, you know the best. What are your challenges? What are your technology and business challenges? Share these challenges with startupists, with entrepreneurs. They will help you to bring the solution, to build the solution. You have to treat the startupists like partners. Startup is not a supplier. It's a partner. You pay them on time, very fast, not in 90 days, in 120 days. You pay them immediately. They need the money. They are not your bank. Okay? And all I share with you now, it's a know-how, it's a knowledge that is well common and well common in Israel. It took us a few years to understand that. And I tried to bring it to you in 30 minutes presentation. But trust me, these 350 corporations that are working in Israel with startups, there is a lot of know-how there, which is priceless. And you have to be available 24/7. When I was working in Amadeus, A startup sent me a message, a WhatsApp message on Friday. Friday in Israel is like your Saturday, okay? So I was in Friday, 10 p.m., I was in bed, going to sleep. He sent me a message. If I would not answer in 15 minutes, the startup would think that Amadeus is not interested anymore. That's the mindset of startups. You have to have in the corporate single point of contact. One person that is in charge of relationship with startups. Provide the startups with a clear answer. It's interesting? Yes. Not interesting? No, that's fine. Don't tell the startup come and go for months. They don't have the time for that. You have to have the budget. In most cases, the budget for POCs is relatively small. Treat the startups with respect. Be transparent with them. And another tip, on your board of director, make sure there's going to be at least one board member that understands something about technology, about innovation. Otherwise, you are speaking with yourself, and it's great, but in 5 to 10 years, you'll be not relevant. In Israel, there is a law since the last few months that in each bank, and soon it's going to be in each insurance company, there must be an innovation professionalist in the board, as a board member. Someone who is more relevant to technology. This is an article I was publishing about 10 tips about how to work with startups, how to do open innovation in the right way. And now I'm going to speak with you about the community. The ITTS community idea was to make Israel the center of travel tech globally, to help entrepreneurs get funds, to help entrepreneurs get in touch with corporations, travel agents, hoteliers, airlines, and others, and really build a global ecosystem. I started it 2 years ago when I quit Amadeus with a WhatsApp group of 20 entrepreneurs. That's all. I just didn't want to lose my contact with them. That's all. This was the reason to create the community. And now we have 2 WhatsApp groups with, in total, 400 travel tech entrepreneurs. This is the guy, Michael Ben Aaron, who is managing the community. And the community is the best platform to network for the startupists. And I'll show you few examples. This is an example from our entrepreneurs WhatsApp group, the one that we have 2 WhatsApp groups with 400 entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are sharing. For example, if an entrepreneur is looking for an API from a GDS, or if he wants to ask, which hotel chain is the best to run a POC at, and which one is the worst, he asks it on the group. And in a minute, he gets the answer. And I'll give you an example. A small startup with 3 students from the Hebrew University in Jerusalem were starting a startup. After a few months, they realized they want to bring to their advisory someone who is really senior from Europe. But in order to bring him to Israel and to cover his expenses, there is a cost of, let's say, 1,000 euro. But this startup doesn't have money. What did they do? They were telling the other entrepreneurs on the WhatsApp group that there is a very senior manager. This is his name. This is his LinkedIn. We want to bring him on board. He's going to visit Israel. Do you want to meet him? Yes. Would you like to share the cost? Yes. It ended up 10 startups met this guy, and it cost each startup 100 euro. This is just one example. There are many examples of how sharing and collaborating is great for everyone. We also have a WhatsApp group with hoteliers and travel agents around the world, that where we are engaging with them, we learn about their interests, about their challenges, and we provide them with solutions from our community. We are running meetups with Visa, with Google, with others. These photos are of innovation conference with the Hotel Association in Israel. This is with the Travel Agencies Association. And we are currently the address of multinationals that are coming to Israel to look for startups. Corporations like Booking.com, Amadeus, Sabre, Carlson Wagon Lee, and maybe some others that I already forgot. And what's unique with this ecosystem is that once entrepreneurs in Israel see that travel tech is a good ecosystem, they shift their technology, their solution to travel. Because when an entrepreneur in the area of big data analytics, for example, or AI, artificial intelligence, develop the technology, now their decision is to which market to approach first. If they know that the ecosystem of travel is strong and can provide them with the first client, they will shift it to travel. And that's exactly what we see in the last 6 months. More and more startups are shifting their product to travel. We are active on WhatsApp, we are active on Facebook, we are active on LinkedIn. You're more than welcome to follow us. We have a website, we have a newsletter, and we created a map of the best startup in Israel in the area of travel tech for each and every subdomain. And this is online. You can find it, you can Google and find it, or WhatsApp me, I'll send it to you. And for example, for revenue, because each and every one here wants to increase its revenue, we have these startups. For online travel agents, we have these startups. For messaging with clients, to improve your relationship with clients, we have these startups. But it's not only on WhatsApp group and Facebook and LinkedIn, what all I just mentioned. A year ago, I came with the idea to offer the startupists to sit on the same place. So we were choosing one of the, like kind of WeWork, a co-working space. It's called Labs. It's the center of the high-tech of Tel Aviv on the 58th floor. Very nice view. You're more than welcome to come. And after we had 70 travel tech entrepreneurs sitting in this hub, you know what happened? Booking.com has decided to take a quarter floor in Labs, and now an Israeli entrepreneur doesn't need to send a cold call or a cold email to Netherlands at Booking.com in order to get engaged. He just need to knock, he or she just need to knock on the next door. And now missions that are coming, by the way, the Minister of Tourism of Greece was visiting us at this hub, at Labs. Startups in Israel in the area of travel tech are doubled. The number of new travel tech startups in Israel is doubled every 3 years. Most of the startups are with a working product, and most of them are relatively small, with up to 10 employees. It's not only I say that this is a great community, that I'm very proud of the entrepreneurs there that are really sharing and working great. I'll tell you 2 stories. One, Visa had a contest last year for 3 challenges, 2 in the area of travel and 1 in the area of fintech. It was a contest, a global contest in Europe. 200 startups applied globally. How many from Israel? 90, 90. To the final, there were 5 per challenge. 5 multiple 3, it's 15, right? 8 out of the 15 from Israel, from our community. The winners were 3, 1 per challenge. Only 2 from Israel. One is Fly Money, a platform for foreign money exchange for tourists, and Bytemojo, which is a self-guided culinary app that is working in 12 cities around the world. One of their next destination is Greece. The second story is a contest that we had 2 months ago with the UNWTO and Globalia. The final was in Madrid. 3,000 startups almost applied globally. To the final, we had 10. 4 out of them were from Israel. And the two winners from Israel, one of them is Provo, which is a startup that helped the end user, the traveler, to pay the minimum price for a hotel. Okay, and this is a great opportunity for you to sell your stuff, your rooms directly without the OTA. So you better approach Provo. I highly recommend. It helps you in direct booking. And the other one, which one of the founders is here, Tom. Please, Tom, stand, because later on you would like to speak with him. Tom, thank you for coming. It's Refunded. They won the first prize, and they turned the VAT reclaim fully digitalized. You know all the lines of people at the airport that are asking to get their VAT back, and they have to fill all the forms manually, and at the end of the day, they get less than 70% of the amount. They will make it automatically, and that's a great way for you, for hoteliers, to revenue share with them and get some money back. This is another nice photo from the contest. Startups are getting significant funds in Israel. Travel tech startups are getting significant funds in Israel from really well-known brands, VCs, the leading one. The whole travel industry is really getting more and more into the online space, and we see more and more VCs getting into it and are looking for exceptional startups to invest in, and significant amount of money. We see that as a trend around the world. And one of the reasons is because your clients, the guests that are coming to your hotels, the travelers, are looking for a different experience nowadays. They're traveling more, they want it all and now. You can provide your clients all and now only with technology. And it will take you much more time to develop it internally rather than to take something off the shelf. The connected operations, from the technology that runs operation on buildings, fast and efficient, is super relevant to hotels. The virtual reality and augmented reality, these are technologies that enable you to offer your stuff to your potential clients in advance before booking, so they would have an experience of how the hotel is going to look like. The AI and chatbots. With AI, you can provide your clients 24/7 service. And not only that, you can also learn a lot from the data that you will gain. Social media and reviews, you know that. You know that it's super important to make your client happy. Otherwise, they will say bad things. You want them to say good things about you. And the robots, they are not only robots, physical robots that can help you with during the day job at the hotel. There are also software robots that can help your people that are doing a repetitive job to do it automatically with a kind of robot, a software robot. There are many technologies around this area in Israel. The trends in terms of technology for travel agents are around augmented reality, AI, Internet of Things, social media, and data science. And for the hospitality, these are the trends that we see, more and more technology around. And I highly recommend you take a photo out of it, because these are the areas that you better concentrate and focus your efforts. And when I'm saying you, it's both the entrepreneurs and the hoteliers, of course. You read it by yourself. I don't need to read it for you, but it's going to help you a lot. I mean, it's clear. I'll give you 3 examples of startups that are relevant to you. The first one of the biggest problems of hoteliers around the world is the fact that you're paying a lot of money to OTAs. Thanks to this feature, this add-on of booking direction, you'll be able to get more traffic directly and save a lot from your commissions. I can tell you that the Hotel Association in Israel were running a contest of startups. This startup was taking the first prize. And the reason is clear. It helps hoteliers make more money and pay less to the OTAs. The second example, you probably know Handy. You know Handy? The mobile phone at the hotel that's waiting for you. So this little piece of hardware is called SimGo. This is a mobile router which provide me with the access to Wi-Fi for up to 5 of my devices. There is no SIM here. No SIM. So any place around the world, I turn it on, I have Wi-Fi. Now try to imagine yourself putting such a device in each and every room. It's much more friendly, and I don't need to learn about a new device. I can keep on using my laptop and my mobile phone. So that's another way for you to make money, extra money from your clients. And the third example, and the last one, is how was it? This is an artificial intelligence platform to make your clients more happy, more satisfied, and to learn it while they are still with you at the hotel, not when they are leaving. Really, all the 3 startups are working with hotels around the world and brings a lot of money and great customer engagement with clients. Israel and Greece has both have a lot of similarities in terms of culture and climate and talents and mentality. We're all Mediterraneans. Open communication and entrepreneurial background. There are so many similarities, so I can tell you that we in Israel, in Innovate-Israel, in ITTS, will be more than happy to help however you could imagine to both the corporation, the startup, the academy. Everyone has to collaborate. Everyone. It's not going to work if one is not going to speak with the other. Everyone needs to work together, and then you will be able to build a great ecosystem that you will be the first to enjoy. And there is something I'm very much jealous, and Israeli startupists are very much jealous in your economy. This is how strong the travel business is in Greece. Nearly, let's say, over 20% of the GDP, direct and indirect. In Israel, we can only be jealous of such numbers. This is how travel is important here. Without technology, without adopting technology, it's going to reduce. I promise you. Because you're not alone. There is still a competition. A traveler might choose either to go here or to some other places. It's super important to adopt technology and make sure that these numbers are only growing. This percentage is only growing. It's going to happen only with technology. In Israel, one of the biggest problems of travel tech startups is that they can run a small POC in a hotel chain in Israel. But at the end of the day, they will not make money out of it because the commercial business, the numbers are really small. It's a small place, Israel. So they have to export. They have to run. But here, you have the best expert. You have the best hoteliers, the best travel agents. You have airlines. You have all the ecosystem to try your technology. So this is something we can only be jealous of. So enjoy that. Enjoy that. And I think this initiative of your association is super important. It might not be perfect at the beginning because always it's like that. Be patient. You probably need to fine-tune it a little bit. It's fine to adopt it. It's fine to learn. It's great. But at the end of the day, I fully believe and trust you both and the people here that you will be able to reach the goals in 2021 because you have great and unique assets that we don't have. You're more than welcome to approach me. Like many people these days, I don't answer phone calls. I only message. Your clients are like that as well, I assume, right? They like to get messages from you. But I promise you to answer each and every one here on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on wherever you want, on email. and really fast because we are eager to be partnered with you. There are startups here that I just spoke with at the beginning that are really great. You have great entrepreneurs here. It's going to grow. Israelis are eager to work with the startupists here, with the hoteliers, with other corporations, and we'll be more than happy to support. Thank you very much.
I want to thank Itai. It's like I told you the second time I meet him for his inspiring talk and the nice word you have to say about what we're trying to do. And it's really encouraging to see best practices around. And you show the way. So now that we see how much work we have to do, I propose that we go get drunk so that it's easier for everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Itai. Thank you.
Good luck.